92-69. That's their first legit bad outing this season. So we'll see if they can get back to playing to their standard tonight. Seattle's coming off a 77-59 win over the Connecticut Sun. And in that one, that featured career highs from both Zaya Cook, 25 points, and then Flau'jae Johnson has 17 points. They'll be trying to continue their climb back to 500 right now. They're 2 games under. Injury report, Seattle will be without Dominique Malunga, Z Magbagor. There's not going to be Tiana Mayer and then Taylor Theory. All 4 of those women will not be available for Seattle this evening. Washington, on the other hand, looks like they'll be fully healthy for the first time this year. They don't have any injuries to report. So Michaela Onyenwere will not only make her season debut in tonight's game, she's listed as a starter, which obviously her being put into the starting lineup, which I'm sure is what they envisioned when they signed her. Kind of, we'll see how that affects the bench as you push those youngsters back to that group. And those youngsters have each gotten a couple starts already. So, that's something to keep in mind. But Cardell, what does Washington need to do tonight if they wish to leave Seattle with a W?
They gotta get back to their defensive ways, man. They gotta get back. They gotta get back to how they were defending the first couple games, where their offense wasn't up to par. As you've seen over the last couple games, their offense has improved more and more. They got to get back to playing defense and rebounding the ball. The last game, the last loss was just uncharacteristic of what we saw from the early part of the first 3 games and early part of the season, and uncharacteristic of what their talent level is, what their roster is. They really got to get back to that, and it starts with that, the defense, man, and you can't not play defense and also turn the ball over. They're dead last in the WNBA right now in turnovers. They average 17.3. They have to figure out a way to take care of the ball. And at first it was a collective, rookie guard and, some of the bigs, some of the vets and all that. But last game, it was the players that you have to rely on to win the game that was turning the ball over. You just can't have that, man. Also, they're fouling a lot. They're 15th in the WNBA dead last. They 25 fouls a game. They put people on the free throw line. And then also to compound that, even though they shot the ball well, they're 12th in the WNBA in assists per game, 18 a game. They got to move the ball better. That means it's a whole lot of one-on-one right now, which tells you their talent that, they can break people down one-on-one, consistently score the ball, even when their defense is not there. But that's not a good recipe when you're not moving the ball, because against good teams with good defenses, they're going to take advantage of the one-on-one stuff and shut you down. And look, last game, the Wings and all that, look, they came in spirit. They came in motivated. Their coach chewed them out prior, and they came in and they was in sync on both ends. And I think they caught the Mystics off guard with the pace. And that's something else the Mystics got to get used to, getting up and down. And that kind of neutralized the advantage that they have inside with their bigs. You know what I mean? It wore them down. And they created a lot of mismatches and they exploited it. So that was a big part. And then when the Mystics finally do get to the free throw line, when they go on one-on-one, they attack. They're 14th in the WNBA. They only shoot 71%. So they got a lot of work to do on both ends of the floor. But the defensive end, it was just one game. See if they come out with that same intensity they did for the first 2 or 3 games. Cool. We'll just call it what it is, just a outlier, whatnot. But we see it again tonight. We know it's becoming an issue, and they gotta clean that up. On Seattle side, they're struggling. They're 2-4. They're struggling just as much. They're 11th in rebounding, which the Mystics should try to exploit. Only 31.5 rebounds per game. Dead last in assists, 17. They're the only team worse than the Mystics in assists. And then also I believe Malonga's out this game. Come on, man, that's a hell of an advantage for the Mystics to punish them inside. If she was in the game, if she was in the game, because she leading the team with in points of rebounding so far. But if she was playing, it'd be a different story because she's a monster. But yeah, they should take advantage of that. Look, they're kind of in the same boat as the Mystics. They're not the best offensively. They're better than the Mystics, you know, when you look at the overall statistics, the analytics and stuff. But defensively and rebounding, they really hurt themselves. And also, they don't move the ball. It's a lot of one-on-one. So the Mystics, if they clamp down like they've done most of the season, they should be able to exploit that. They got to start with keeping like Zia cooking their guards and Hyman out of the paint. They speeds the point guards. They love to get up and down. Obviously, I know they saw going over the film that the Mystics got killed with pace, with the three-headed monster down there in Dallas. So you gotta assume that they're gonna come in trying to attack the Mystics the same way. So the Mystics gotta get back and really slow down their transition game, because I think that's the only way they can try to win. And not just Hyman, young rookie from LSU, Flo J. Johnson. She's coming in, she's going to work, not being really fearful or anything. She's coming in, just hitting the ground running, averaging 12 and 4 assists and 2 rebounds, which is very respectable numbers. Well, my bad, 11.8 and 5 rebounds, which is very respectable numbers for a rookie guard. You know what I mean? So she got to get her efficiency up. 85% from the free throw line. She's shooting sub-30s and from the field and from deep, but that comes with time. But yeah, the Storm is struggling more than the Mystics. Obviously, with no Malonga, that's a big blow to them having any type of. I don't want to say you come into the game acting like you can't win, but that's a big blow to their team and their chances to try to pull out this win. And the Mystics need to get back on the winning track. So if the Mystics take care of the ball, defend, move the ball so they can get more efficient shots, they should be fine and defend without fouling. But they got to get back, and that's the issue, especially when they're playing a lot of bigs. How many times did we see last game where Kiki was on the wing, closing out on the wing at the 3-point line and whatnot, and then let's just say they miss. Their best rebounder is not even down there to get a rebound. They out on the perimeter. Now they getting second chance points, and maybe Shakir or Lawrence, maybe they down there, so they dribble it out. And now it just causes chaos. You're trying to find a person to guard, and they find the open person, and that's how you get second chance points, which they got killed last game, and secondary 3-pointers from the transition mistakes. So they gotta clean that up, man. And if they clean that up, I feel like they'll be fine. But that's why they play the games. We gotta wait and see.
Right, I'm right with you guys. I'm right with you on each and every count. As we've seen, through the first 4 games, this starts and ends with the level of defense, the level of intensity defensively. Because we even saw with the 2 wins, like a lot of those things you talked about, they weren't perfect in those regards, offensively, with the turnovers and things like that. But the defense carried them to 2 wins, even in the games where they didn't check all the boxes. So yeah, it starts and ends with that, and then as the season goes on, they got to do a better job of not helping the other team beat you. And again, that comes with learning how to win. But those are the things, and that's what we've seen through the first 4 games. But like you said, the defense, like that's a hell of a foundation to have. And I can't wait to see if, like you said, we'll find out quick. If it was just an outlier, it was an anomaly. It's not a big thing, and they get back to doing what we saw them do for the first 3 games, where we weren't questioning that end of the floor. But we'll see how things go.
But
it's a great opportunity for them.
Keep a close eye on Cook. She had 25 in the last game. She was hot. 7-4. And Flo J was too. 17 to 7-12. So gotta keep an eye on those 2, man. So I just want to reiterate that going there.
Oh God, it's a great point to reiterate. Both coming off career highs. Don't let. How many times in sports we see sometimes people have career highs and then it's a new career high. Washington doesn't need that. If they want to leave Seattle with the W tonight. Appreciate you guys as always. We'll check with you guys afterwards for Mystics Outlook.